Hi, my name is Jackie Martins and I'm a volunteer with Lucan Area Heritage and Donnelly Museum, and I'm going to take you on a little tour. When you enter into the museum, the first thing you come to is the Donnelly collection of Ray Fazekas. Ray has dedicated his life to learning the history of the Donnellys. He's written 2 books and he has 50 years of collecting memorabilia that has to do with the Donnellys. One of the things that are most popular when people come to the museum is the tombstone, and this is a replica tombstone built for a CBC production. The original tombstone was 32 inches shorter and it was a red granite, not black. So when you start looking at the Ray Fazekas collection, it starts with them back in Ireland and where they came from, and then the collection moves on to when they came to Biddulph, where they settled. There's a section that has to do with the family itself, the members of the family, and then we get to what Lucan looked like back in the 1880s. There's a map of Lucan. And then when you move around, you get to the the key members of the Vigilante Committee and some of the plays and productions that have been done on the Donnellys. So this wall is kind of a timeline of Lucan. It starts with when it was an Indian trail way back when, and then it was settled by the blacks of Ohio. They weren't slaves, but they were having to pay a bond to work and they couldn't afford the bond, and so the Quakers helped them move to this area. And it didn't survive. It was the first black settlement in Canada. It didn't survive because they weren't prepared for our harsh winters. And then the Irish came over, and probably after the war we had a lot of Dutch settlers in this area. And it just gives a timeline of key points of Lucan Biddulph history. There's no known photographs of the Donnelly parents, only a sketch. And then this painting was done by Ray Fazekas based on a sketch by Robert Harris. This log cabin is a carving that Ray Fazekas did so people could see what the inside of the Donnelly cabin probably looked like. The stagecoach in the middle was donated to us from the Blythe Festival. They did an outdoor Donnelly production where they actually had horses hitched up to this, and they commissioned somebody to do a replica of the Donnelly stagecoach. The original tombstone was taken down by the parish of St. Pat's in the 60s because there was a lot of vandalism to the tombstone and it was spilling over into the church. So they thought if they took the tombstone down, that would end the vandalism, but they didn't tell the family. And the family found out, so they came and got the tombstone and they replaced the tombstone with a small one. The small one says that the family died. It doesn't say that they were murdered like the original tombstone. After the fire, Will and Patrick and Bob were the 3 sons that were left, and they built this house. And if you look at Rob Saltz's house, this is the center of the house. But it's had an addition on the front, an addition on the back, and an addition on the side. But if you know that house, you can see that house in the middle of where he lives. This is our library, and we have history in here, family histories from the one-room schools and the central schools. So people can come in here and they can look through the books if they're doing any genealogy, maybe that can help them out. So there's lots of information in all these binders. So this is new for 2014, the Cease Hodgins Theatre in memory of Cease Hodgins. And so when you come into the museum, first thing you will come back here and you watch a 20-minute video that gives you information about the history of the Donnelly family. This is a log cabin that was moved down from Bruce County, and it would be in the same style as the log cabin that the Donnellys would have lived in. So it gives people an idea of what your home would look like back then.